Today, we'll be covering a fascinating topic. But before we do that, how would you like to get a deeper understanding of history, impress your friends, and predict the future more accurately based on past events? If this sounds like something you might be into, then check out the brand new Captivating History Book Club by clicking the first link in the description. Let's get into the video. Africa is believed to be the continent where the first humans evolved. They explored the vast lands and produced the first tools. And although we migrated from that continent, we never wholly abandoned it. From the beginning of time, humans have lived and worked in Africa. They have left evidence of their existence in deserts and valleys of great rivers. Some of the earliest great civilizations were born there, and they give us an insight into the smaller kingdoms of ancient Africa. As we parse the annals of history, we usually focus on these great civilizations and their contributions to society. We talk about their power dynamics and their fascinating rulers. However, the stories of small groups get lost in the mix, some of whom have persisted to this day. These tribes offer a riveting glimpse into the rituals and traditions of this old continent. In discussing African tribes, one is torn between the most popular, the most intriguing, and the most unique. Juggling all these together, we try to present 5 fascinating present-day African tribes. Zulu. With a population of 10 to 12 million, the Zulu people form the largest ethnic group in South Africa and one of the largest in the African continent. Most of these people live in the KwaZulu-Natal province of South Africa, which was created due to a merger between the former KwaZulu and Natal provinces. The Zulu people arrived in their current home after the Bantu migrations, in which Nguni clans moved down Africa's east coast. The people speak a Bantu language known as isiZulu. The language is part of the larger group known as Nguni languages. In South Africa, Zulu is an official language, and almost half of the population can understand it. In the 19th century, under the leadership of the legendary chief Shaka Zulu, these communities came together to form a nation. As the birthplace of this almost mythical figure, the region attracts many visitors every year. King Shaka developed the nation, providing it with a stable organization and stellar military tactics. The tribe's military prowess instilled fear in the hearts of its opponents. Zulus have sustained their rituals in the face of encroaching modernity, but have not shied away from new ideas. The Zulu uphold their traditional values with pride at weddings, funerals, and religious events. They are highly skilled artisans. Their decorative clothing with beads and evocative colors are testament to their multifaceted culture. The figures on their dresses assign symbolic values to the wearer, and the beadwork can represent wealth, age, gender, and other characteristics. Most people of Zulu descent wear beadwork at one time or another. Another critical aspect of the give-and-take relationship between the tribe and the outer world is religion. As a result of missionary work during colonial times, many Zulu people believe in Christianity. However, their beliefs are mainly syncretic. Their religious understanding is a combination of their conventional systems and Christianity. Zulus have a patriarchal society in which a man is considered the head of the household and women perform domestic duties. South Africa is also home to other fascinating tribes, like the southern Ndebele tribes, the Kosa tribes, and San, the latter of whom some might recall from multiple references in Seinfeld. Maasai. The Maasai people are a famous ethnic group synonymous with the plains and savannas of Africa. Today, a large population of the Maasai lives along the Great Rift Valley in Kenya and Tanzania. Their proximity to many great African game parks of the African Great Lakes has earned the tribes their fair share of fame. Since the tribe often encounters international tourists, their global exposure increases every year. The Maasai are a large group, numbering almost 1 million in Kenya alone. Most of this population welcomes foreign visitors and invites them to their villages to show their culture and lifestyle. Ethnically, the Maasai people are a Nilotic group, meaning they were indigenous people of the Nile who have migrated via South Sudan to their current homeland over the years. Along the way, and primarily upon their arrival, they assimilated or displaced several tribes. The Maasai people speak the Maasai language, which closely resembles the language of another famous tribe, the Samburu people of central Kenya. However, most Maasai speak the languages of the country they inhabit. They follow a monotheistic religion, that teaches the worship of a deity called Ngai. Nevertheless, there is a dichotomy as the god has two forms, the black god and the red god. The black god is merciful, while the red god seeks vengeance. They believe that Ngai is responsible for blessing them with cattle, which is the main occupation of the semi-nomadic groups. Outsiders often consider the Maasai people rich because of their cattle, but they are not equally distributed. Despite being a monotheistic religion, the belief system has many shamanistic elements. A shaman, known as a Liban, plays the role of healer and spiritual guide in society. With that being said, many Maasai have adopted Christianity and Islam in recent times. They are notorious for drinking a mixture of blood and cow milk. Other rituals like dancing and spitting complement this practice. The dancing competition allows the winning male to choose his bride. The Maasai people wear colorful robes, symbolic of varied ideas for these festivities. For instance, orange promotes sociability. Blue is a prayer to the sky for rains. Green represents nourishment. People often find them walking along roads in the East African safari, dancing in colorful clothes and engaging in unique cultural activities. Caro. Caro may be a lesser-known tribe, but it is no less intriguing. Like the Maasai, the Caro are a Nilotic group. Based along the east banks of the Omo River in Ethiopia, the tribe has an estimated population of 1,000 to 2,000 people. Their language is also known as Caro. It is a South Omotic language closely linked with another South Omotic language called Hamerbana, sharing a lexical similarity of around 81%. Some people even consider the two languages as separate dialects of the same language. Largely untouched by the outside world, the Caro people fish, cultivate beans and maize, breed cattle, and rely on natural annual flooding. The tribe is known for its unique rituals, especially face and body painting. Using charcoal, white chalk, iron ore, and other ingredients, the people turn their bodies into works of art, differentiating themselves from neighboring tribes. The designs of these paints can vary based on context. Some are indicative of the seasons and the weather. Others show the characteristics of the individual. One ritual involves the Caro bringing the young men to a bull jumping ceremony to celebrate their coming of age. If a boy can jump across rows of cattle 6 times in a row, he becomes eligible for marriage and is allowed in the company of elders. The men wear large beads around the neck to signify big game kills and engage in festive combat activities to keep themselves active. They also produce scars on the neck and chest per kill to attract women. Women are known for scarring themselves using knives and introducing ash into the skin. Over time, the ash produces a raised effect, enhancing sexual beauty. As a result of the conflict between Sudan and Somalia, the Caro have gotten hold of AK-47s, which they use to protect their cattle and hunt game. Himba. The Himba is an African tribe located in northern Namibia and southern Angola. The Himba, a hunter-gatherer and pastoralist semi-nomadic people, speak a Bantu language known as Atji Himba. They are concentrated around the Kunene region in Namibia, a desolate and remote area. This insulation from the world has allowed them to maintain their established way of living. Even though they have a permanent base where they cultivate their crops, the Himba migrate depending on rainfall and settle in places with easy access to water. As livestock farmers, they breed sheep and goats. They also grow maize and millet, an essential part of their diet. The rest of their diet consists of eggs, herbs, honey, and mainly milk. The tribe's lifestyles are very liberal relative to Western and even Eastern standards. Men hunt and take care of livestock and farms, while the women perform more labor-intensive work as they plaster the houses with red clay soil, collect firewood, and develop clothing and jewelry. Since the men are gone for prolonged periods, the women also take care of the children. Generally, the people of a household live in a homestead, an efficient system since the society is polygamous, with most men having multiple wives. The Himba people have earned their fame due to their women's appearance, who have an almost red complexion and red hair. They achieve the color by applying a paste to their skin and hair every day. The paste is made from fat, butter, and ochre and acts as a sunscreen. The women's elaborate hairstyles exhibit the different stages of life. The children have shaved heads, whereas women with children wear a leather headdress called an orembe. Okuruo, a holy fire, is central to the Himba culture as it tethers the living to their ancestors, who communicate with their god Mukuru. To show their respect to their elders and gods, almost all villages have a permanently lit fire in the center. However, the tribe occasionally engages with urban centers and other tribes despite their lifestyle. Kosa. Kosa, or Red Blanket People, is another tribe primarily located in South Africa. Their language, isiXhosa, is an Nguni language, a subset of the Bantu languages. Situated in the Eastern Cape Province, they are one of the largest ethnic groups in South Africa, short of the Zulu. Today, there are around 8 million Kosa people across South Africa. Outside of Zulu, their language is the most spoken in the land. Historians believe that the Kosa tribe consists of the people who Chief Zulu exiled from Zululand. The languages of the two tribes are also quite similar. The great Kosa oral traditions tell the tale of the Nguni migration and the subsequent formation of the Kosa kingdom, sometime before the 15th century. After forming a kingdom, the Kosa people assimilated other tribes, diversifying the group's identity beyond ethnic attributes. The Kosa were among the first Nguni groups to migrate to South Africa, and a second group joined them later. For a long time, the group was able to resist colonial expansion, but in the 19th century, the colonizers found a way to rule them. The Kosa people traditionally lived on mountain slopes where rainfall provided ample water. With rich soil and river basins, the people cultivated land and worked their cattle. They have a very sharing nature and extend a helping hand to those in need. In their clans, relatives and even close friends live together. They usually cook their food openly and invite everyone to help themselves. You might have heard of the computer operating system Ubuntu. Interestingly, the OS is named after the spirit of Ubuntu, a Nguni philosophy followed by the Kosa, which talks about humanity towards others. When two Kosa people meet each other, they share their clans before their names as a sign of putting the collective ahead of the individual. The tribe has many exciting rituals, including dancing and initiation for young boys. The Kosa can usually be recognized by their distinctive look of blankets with red ochre. To learn more about the African tribes, check out our book, Ancient Africa, a captivating guide to ancient African civilizations such as the Kingdom of Kush, the land of Punt, Carthage, the Kingdom of Axum, and the Mali Empire with its Timbuktu. It's available as an ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Also, grab your free Mythology Bundle ebook while it's still available. All links are in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.